This is eTurbo News in Honolulu with our daily breaking news show. Please stay tuned.
This is the first position, the first place that the Russian army invaded and occupied on February 24th. This is Antonov military airport, and the Russian army parachuted into this military airport and took it from the Ukrainians. They occupied this airport for about 40 days before last week the Ukrainian military was able to defeat the Russians here and retake this airport. It's a symbolic step for the Ukrainians, as it shows that they were able to defeat the Russian military, but also it was symbolic for the Russians at the beginning of this war to take this military airport, which is not too far from the capital Kyiv, some 15 miles away from the capital. They brought with them their food. Here we see some wafers, some military issued rations. They were stationed in this area that is barricaded with sand bags. We have some helmets, bags, radio. They've had some reading materials. And this is some of the things that they left behind, some military gear, food rations issued by the Russian military. And they were here digging to stay for a while. They've dug a place for one of their tanks, the T-72. They dug a place for it here, but also a major battle took place here, as you can tell from that charred, burned Russian tank, the T-72, with the V sign on it. And you can tell that there were movement here with the tank marks on the muddy road here. As a Russian soldier apparently was left behind. These are graphic scenes. He was left behind, he was burned to death, and his remains still here. But this was an important step for the Russians, as they say, to take over this military airport at the beginning of their invasion of Ukraine, as it was very close to the capital Kyiv. However, also this airport is located in the city of Hostomel, which is close to Irpin and close to Bucha. And they were thinking that they will be taking these towns on their way to the Ukrainian capital Kyiv, but apparently they failed. As of yesterday, the Ukrainian government declared all this area around Kyiv as free of Russian soldiers, and they announced that it is completely liberated from the Russian occupation, and that's an extremely huge victory for the Ukrainian military here. Reporting for the Media Line, Muhammad Al-Qasim, Antonov Airport, Ukraine.
In my journey as a photographer and filmmaker over the years, I have been privileged to document indigenous African tribes telling unique stories across the length and breadth of this amazing continent. In my adventures, I've witnessed and appreciated the beauty in diversity among these tribes, keeping an open mind to understand the essence of their way of life. Sadly, most indigenous tribes are being wiped out and marginalized due to rapid urbanization. Africa is rich in culture, history, heritage, and tradition from country to country. And I felt there was a need to create an initiative that documents and celebrates the remaining indigenous tribes across the continent of Africa. Wherever we are now, indigenous tribes represent where we came from generationally, and through art, we can shape the future. The goal of this project is to document indigenous tribes and cultures across the continent of Africa to preserve what we have left for generations to come. This will be achieved through a film and photography docu-series involving a special edition for each country. We seek to capture these tribes and cultures in a respectful and positive manner as we change the narrative of the continent. It would also be an opportunity to give back to these communities and impart them in a positive and lasting manner. Proceeds from future outcomes like photo exhibitions will be used to carry out impactful endeavors like education, healthcare, and more for these communities. This project will be an avenue to foster unity and cooperation among African creatives, brands, agencies, and organizations as we collaborate from country to country in order to make this journey a success. Our first country in this project is the beautiful country of Namibia. We'll be working with Namibians as we document 3 tribes in the country, which are the Himba tribe, the San tribe, and the Wombo tribe. We can't do this alone. We need each and every one of you for your support and your suggestions on unique stories, tribes, and cultures to document, people to connect with, and places to go. You can support us through our GoFundMe campaign in the link below or contact our team for further discussions. We invite you to join the Untold African Stories movement and be part of this family as we embark on this journey across the continent and make this vision a success. Thank you.